You ever wake up and think, man, maybe today I won't completely ruin my life? And then, bam, 10 minutes in, you're already standing in your kitchen eating cold spaghetti with your hands, ignoring a dozen missed calls from people who actually give a damn about you. No, just me. Cool. See, the thing they don't tell you about being famous is, oh wait, yeah, they do tell you. They tell you all the time. The money, the adoration, the parties. But what they don't tell you is how fast it all stops feeling good. You ever try filling a bottomless pit? That's what being famous feels like. You shovel in money, booze, sex, validation, hell, throw in a Golden Globe or two. But the hole just keeps going. You wake up one day and you realize, oh shit, I'm still me. And that is a nightmare I cannot drink myself out of. I was on a hit TV show once, Horsing Around. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you grew up watching it, thinking it was warm and heartfelt. Well, guess what? It wasn't. It was a paycheck, written on the back of my soul. And when the show ended, you know what they did? They didn't hand me a trophy. They didn't throw me a parade. They just stopped calling. That's the thing about Hollywood. One day you're the toast of the town, and the next you're just toast. And so, what do you do when the world moves on and forgets you? You try to outrun it. Parties, affairs, drugs, rehab, more drugs, therapy, and then more drugs because, surprise, therapy doesn't work when you're not actually listening. You ever feel like life is just one long joke, and you're the punchline? No, seriously, hear me out. Everyone tells you life is supposed to mean something, that all the bad choices you make, all the people you hurt, all the goddamn self-inflicted wounds, that it all adds up to something, some kind of redemption arc. But what if that's just another lie we tell ourselves so we don't jump off a bridge? 'Cause I gotta be honest with you. I've been living this so-called redemption arc for years now. And let me tell you, it sucks. It's slow. It's painful. And worst of all, it doesn't always work. You don't always get better. Sometimes you just become tired. I used to think if I just got famous enough, rich enough, loved enough, then I'd finally be okay. That the hole in my chest would fill up with awards, with fans, with validation, and I'd finally feel whole. But guess what? You can have the biggest house in Hollywood, the most expensive cars, a best-selling memoir, with a ghostwriter who hates your guts, and still wake up every morning feeling like you want to swallow a bullet. Because the thing no one tells you about being an asshole for long enough is that at some point, you stop being able to tell where the asshole ends and you begin. And God, I've tried to be better. I really have. But you know the worst part? The universe doesn't give a shit. You can spend years trying to atone, clawing your way out of the mess you made. And all it takes is one bad night, one relapse, one mistake. And suddenly, you're back to being the villain of your own story. You think people want a redemption arc? They don't. They want you to stay the bad guy. It's easier for them. Makes the world less complicated. You fuck up once, you're a screw-up forever. No growth, no change, just a cautionary tale. He pauses, swirling the whiskey in his glass, watching the amber liquid catch the light. But you know what the real kicker is? Even after everything, even after every mistake, every bridge burned, every person I let down, I still don't know if I deserve to be happy. Like I hurt people. A lot of people. Friends, lovers, people who actually believed in me. I used them up, squeezed every You ever wake up and think, wow, I really messed up my life? No, just me? Cool, 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 cool. See, the thing about being me, Jack Hoursemman, in case anyone in the audience has somehow never wasted hours binge-watching my slow-motion car crash of a life, is that every single morning, I wake up with a crushing weight of regret and a headache that could kill a small horse. Which, coincidentally, I am. And before you say anything, yes, I'm aware that I am, objectively speaking, a complete and utter disaster. But at least I own it. At least I don't walk around pretending I have it all together, like all those smiling, happy people you see on Instagram, posting pictures of their perfect brunches with their perfect friends, with their perfect little captions like, living my best life. Blessed. You know what my hashtag would be? Just trying to survive until happy hour. But let's get real here. Nobody actually has it all together. Everyone's just faking it. You think those people posting inspirational quotes on social media have life figured out? Hell no. They're sitting on the floor of their overpriced studio apartment, crying into a bottle of wine at 2 a.m. just like the rest of us. Difference is, I just admit it. Oh, and speaking of admitting things, let's talk about failure. My favorite topic. I am, if nothing else, an expert in it. Relationships. Failed. Career. Stalled. Mental health. What's that? I've made so many mistakes that if they gave out awards for screwing up, I'd have my own goddamn trophy room. And the worst part, I keep making the same ones over and over, like some sad alcoholic version of Groundhog Day. But here's the kicker, folks. Failure is just part of the package deal called being alive. Everyone's so obsessed with winning and being successful that they forget how goddamn exhausting it is. You think happiness is a finish line you cross and suddenly everything makes sense. Nope. If anything, happiness is like a game of whack-a-mole. You smack one problem down and 3 more pop up in its place. And let's not even get started on Hollywood. Oh, Hollywood, the land of broken dreams and inflated egos. A town built on lies and Botox, where everyone's pretending to be something they're not, desperately hoping someone, somewhere, will finally tell them they're enough. Spoiler alert, they never will. Because in Hollywood, you're only as good as your last success, and the second you slip up, they chew you up and spit you out like last week's kale smoothie. I used to think being famous would make me happy, that if enough people loved me, I could finally love myself. But newsflash, dumbass, you can't crowdsource self-esteem. Turns out, no matter how many people tell you you're great, if you don't believe it yourself, it doesn't mean shit. So, what's the moral of this depressing little TED Talk? Hell if I know. I'm not here to inspire you. If you came looking for some grand, uplifting conclusion, you clearly don't know who you're dealing with. But I guess if there's one takeaway, it's this. Life is messy, people are disappointing, and happiness is a fleeting illusion. And yet, somehow, despite all of it, we keep going. Maybe because deep down, we're all just hoping that one day, against all odds, things will finally be okay. Or maybe we're just all too stubborn to quit. Either way, I need another drink.
Every last drop of kindness out of them, and then acted surprised when they walked away. And even now, standing here, pretending to be all self-aware, part of me still wants to make excuses. Oh, but my childhood was so traumatic. My parents were terrible. I was set up to fail. Boo-hoo, right? But at some point, you have to stop blaming the past for the choices you keep making. You know the worst part? Sometimes I think I could have been a good person. Not always. But sometimes, if I had tried harder, if I had listened more, if I had just, God, I don't know, stopped being such a selfish, cowardly sack of shit, maybe I wouldn't be standing here talking to you like I'm giving a TED Talk on how to ruin your own life in 5 easy steps. I keep waiting for the moment where it gets better. The moment where I wake up and want to be alive. Where I don't have to fake every goddamn smile or laugh at a joke I don't think is funny. But the truth is, there's no big epiphany, no magical fix, no heartwarming season finale where everything suddenly makes sense. It's just me, and this moment, and a choice to do better, to be better, or, at the very least, to try. So, here's to that. Whatever the hell that means.